Oh yes, legends, we are finally live. How is everybody doing? Let's analyze this squeezed little range here for the price of Bitcoin. Are we going to break to the downside, or are we going to have a nice little pump, guys? Make sure to absolutely destroy that like button on your way in. We are back. We are here. It is Monday. We are looking for some different scenarios. We're going to take a look at a little bit of news as well today. And maybe some altcoins. I've kind of had enough with altcoins. Solana is getting absolutely wrecked. Bitcoin does have a possibility of breaking down below $95,000 in the next coming hours. However, it does have a chance to get above $97,000. Okay, so this is basically the high of the dead cat bounce or the low of the dead cat bounce. What do you think is going to happen next for the price of Bitcoin? I would like to know, okay, because there are two scenarios that I am looking at here in this squeezed little range, which looks like it is going to break out in the next hour, guys, okay? And this is a day trader's paradise. Let's leave it that way, right? The people that are just looking for that range of movement of $1,000 that can scratch some profits, okay? Let's talk about this scenario right away, because eventually one of these levels are going to be hit in the next coming hours, potentially throughout the stream, okay? So which level is going to be hit first? I would like to know here in the comment section if you are bullish locally or bearish. Do you see 94,000 being hit first, 94,900 or 97,000, okay? What comes first, guys? Let me know. For BTC, and that is 94.9, okay, or 97K. We're basically in the middle right now. We are basically in the middle. Let me know right away on the poll, because yes, without a doubt, most would believe, right, that we are going to come and claim the lows. I also see the chance, okay? I'm not going to lie. You know, we are day traders. We look at levels where the price could reject from and the price where it could bounce from, right? One of these pivots are going to be hit, right? We actually closer to the one down here at 94.9 than $97,000. Is this just a general dead cat bounce and we are just rolling and we are going to break through? We're going to absolutely smash these lows, or are we going to claim the highs first of all and then come to the downside, unless we see a massive impulsive move, right? And then we'll just go with that. But the price is not looking too good, right? Regarding the drop from Friday, right? Regarding the drop from Friday, it is not looking extremely great. So we're going to be analyzing the local price action. There's no more to it, right? We'll be analyzing the local range. We ain't going to speculate on $80,000 Bitcoin, 110,000 all-time high. We need to focus on this little range, which I do think is going to pop. We got some technical setups, Elliott Wave theory, patterns as well, the confluence levels. Make sure to stay tuned, guys, and smash up the like button, because if not, I am out of here and I'm going to be fully focused on the Legends trading community, of course. Make sure to destroy that like. Let's see how many likes we can get. We're almost 500 people on the stream. We can build up here. We're going to be 500, 600. Let's get all those people hyped up on the stream. And first of all, let's go through the comment section. Say hello, guys. We're going to be taking a look at several different charts, a little bit of opinions, the waves, you know, what's the highest probability move locally and on the slightly higher time frame. Just a little bit of a recap on the higher time frame for any new subscribers. Bitcoin dominance, getting a bounce, altcoins not doing so well. We did have a little bounce throughout Saturday, back down. Ethereum, Solana is eventually getting a movement down with obviously the ecosystem, Ray, right, the decentralized exchange, and many altcoins, right? We're going to take a look at the 𝗬𝗚𝗍𝗍, a little bit of interesting bullish higher time frame news eventually, and most importantly, the price of Bitcoin, right? What is Bitcoin doing? Are we going to get the leg down here, or are we going to manage to bounce? There are a few scenarios that I want to talk about on the stream, okay? So chill out, get your coffee, get your cup of tea, get your Coca-Cola, get your water, get whatever you want. This is going to be a long one, guys. We've got several things that we want to talk about here regarding trading setups. I have some answers for weeks. I've been trading on weeks for the last few months, guys. It works absolutely beautifully. Some people were moaning because they didn't get their bonus. Hundreds of people did get their bonus, but there is a trick here. As they do not require KYC, lots of people are trying to sign up with different emails, right? And link the phone number from family members. They will spot you, okay? So of course you ain't gonna get that bonus 5, 7, 8 times, right? It's only for one individual to get that bonus, right? This is one of the main reasons. So those people that are moaning because they're not getting the bonus, they're very likely claiming the bonus more than once, which is not allowed, guys. Come on. Anyway, let's go through the comment section. Say hello to the beautiful community. We can focus on Bitcoin right away. Will we go down to 94.9 or 97K? Right? What's happening with the votes here? It's going to be very interesting. There are a few setups. I think NASDAQ go a little bit more down today. BTC also. Yeah, stock market usually drags the price of Bitcoin, especially to the downside. Not too much to the upside the last few weeks, but yes, to the downside. Okay, much more. 97,000 says Henrik. 94.9 first before pump. I'm so down, my portfolio is bleeding. I also have a few altcoins that are not looking too great, okay? Bitcoin's just looking fine, right? Bitcoin, whoever's been buying Bitcoin the last few years is pretty much happy, right? So it's altcoins the problem. Altcoins are really taking the bleed. And that's where a lot of people like to speculate on, right? Because with Bitcoin, you ain't going to make that 10, 20x in the short term. You know, you need to go down with altcoins, but altcoins could also be down 70, 80%, right? Which is very, very risky, guys. Altcoins, we know there's a big risk on altcoins. Alts are so bad. Yes, that is totally correct. You know, I'm not too happy. I am down on a few altcoins. Chainlink, I'm still up. Or eventually, that's my biggest hold and been buying at very good levels. Not much, but it's still a 3x or so, which I'm happy about, right? If you got big holdings, a 3x is, you know, pretty nice. Go 𝗬𝗆. 𝗬𝗆 apparently what? Is pumping or dumping? We can take a look at some altcoins later on, guys. Hello, everybody. I'm buying lots of liquidity at 94.6. Yes, also lots of liquidity. We've got the liquidity heat map here. There is slightly more liquidity down than to the upside, which is making me a little bit skeptical, okay? We do have that liquidity at $97,000 area, but there is ever so slightly more liquidity below 95K, okay? So we're going to see if the price is going to manage to just pop down here, and we'll give different explanations on what I am looking at here on some setups, okay? Exclusively, of course, with the Legends trading community that we can talk about throughout the stream, right? We're going to be building up a little bit of the map, okay? What is this price action, right? What, you know, as we do have price action developing, we have different scenarios that could happen, right? The chart gives us information. It tells us a story, and we can try and look for the highest probability setup inside of this story, right? So let's go right away through short or long at market open. Well, market open is usually a little bit volatile, so I like to see, you know, what happens after 20-30 minutes of after the market open, and then trade after accordingly, right? Because nobody knows if the first market open, you know, what's the market open going to do? Is it firstly going to dump? Is it firstly going to pump and then dump, right? You know, I save that volatility for the aggressive traders. Then I like to trade later on once, you know, we can see, you know, after, you know, that volatility, right? More chilled. Let's continue here through comment section. Sol is dying. Yes, Solana is having a little bit of a hit, okay? If we do take a look at Solana, right? Very, very interesting pullback that we're having on Solana, right? I wouldn't say it's dying, but eventually we are getting a pretty aggressive pullback. If you see 𝗖𝗿𝗆, which has the DEX, right? The most popular DEX on Solana, it's also taking a brutal hit. Of course, this is all with a meme coin launching. Well, there's other systems right now, and 𝗖𝗆 is taking a little bit of a hit, right? The DEX of Solana. You know, we did have an incredible run on Solana. You know, how high do you expect this to go, right? This has had an incredible, you know, almost parabolic bull run. Yeah, lots of people are going to be targeting the all-time highs, which could happen maybe in the next coming months or years. But overall, this was a very, very parabolic move up, okay? Solana basically halved. Yes, it did. Yes, it did. The only news this week is Thursday durable goods orders. Yeah, we also don't have a very busy week regarding news. We do have Friday. We do have core PCE price index, personal income. We might get a bit of volatility here. Also on Thursday, durable goods, GDP growth rate, which, you know, we might be getting a little bit of volatility. We'll be doing a live on Thursday, very likely, when the news comes out to check that volatility. The question is, Bitcoin technical analysis. What is going on in this range, right? What are the local setups? What are we looking on higher time frame? Now, my question to you, are we starting off higher time frame? Or we already know that because we did it on Saturday. Let's focus on the local time frame. What are the highest probability setups, right? Let's just go with the 𝗬𝗫 scalp day trade setups locally right now. Forget about the higher time frame, right? Forget about, you know, 90K or 110K, right? Or 80K. Let's focus on this. What information do we have here? And like I said, eventually we are looking at one of these two pivots to be hit in the next coming hours, maybe minutes, because we are getting squeezed in a range here. Arguably discuss a triangle. Is it a diamond pattern? Right? You can speculate here all as you wish. What is this? A diamond bottom pattern? Is it a triangle? Is it a bear flag? Is it a, you know, we can talk about many things here on the chart. Ethereum dead, Solana dying, it's not good. Screw altcoins, guys. We are Bitcoin traders. We are trading Bitcoin, right? I got a bag on altcoins, but I don't live out of my altcoin holdings, right? We invest in Bitcoin mainly. A couple of good altcoin projects for the long term, right? I know a lot of short-term speculators that only buy and hold. They are getting punished, guys, okay? Some of my altcoins are down, but it's just a small percentage of the portfolio. That's how we play the game. People that want to get rich quick, they can get wrecked very quick as well, right? This is just part of the game. Now, you need to be cautious in crypto investing. Have a well-diversified portfolio, then you'll be just as fine. But people want quick gains. They want multiple quick gains, right? Why is 𝗬𝗍 is dumping hard? I don't know. Lots of altcoins are dumping down, okay? 𝗬𝗍 down 5%. A little bit of a hit today. Why is it dumping so hard? It's still okay from its all-time high, I have to say. Not that bad. It's just a large correction. So anyway, we'll be focusing on Bitcoin, guys, okay? We can jump into some altcoins later on. I want to see that like button, okay? I want to see that like button pumping before we go through the altcoin, through the Bitcoin technical analysis, okay? We can start off with higher time frame. We can start off with higher time frame if you wish, guys. Higher time frame, there is not much really to update. All right. We have the possibility. We ain't going to micro count this. We're just going to look at the speculative counts, which would be a zigzag right over here. We got another steep zigzag right there. And now we are just moving down in another type of zigzaggy move down, all right, in a WXY, which we are going to be sweeping the lows, right? The lows of the range, which is at $89,000 on the higher time frame. Is this possible? It is definitely possible, of course. What type of correction are we forming? And there's only two that I am leaning on here, guys. And I do not believe that Bitcoin will come down to $80,000. Below 89K, yes, but not $80,000. I am leaning on the side that if we do dump down to this area, sweeping up the low, maybe a couple of thousand, that a nice recovery is very, very likely. Or even not taking out the lows and just consolidating in this range and then recover in the next coming days. And that's leaning on 2 Elliott Wave scenarios, but also considering the 2 reaccumulation schematics, right, on Wyckoff, right? Wyckoff reaccumulation schematics, where it does look like that we are in the creek phase, right? Creek phase, right over here. There's 2 types of creek phases. One of them is taking out, okay, the low, and one of them is not taking out the low, right? That is the question. That is the overall question right now. Will we take out the low on the higher time frame, or will we not take out the low? Right? So when we go and take a look at the different accumulation schematics, we're starting off with higher time frame, guys. This is the boring, right, stage of the live stream, but that's as we do get the like button getting pumped and we do get some people joining the live stream. We're just going to start off with higher time frame, and the creek phase is the one that I believe that we are in right now, that descending wedge after forming a double top scenario, right? The question is, will we take out $89,000 for a spring point, or are we forming the other reaccumulation schematic, right? Which is not taking out the lows, right? Creek stage, where we at right now, very slow, multi-weekly, rangy formation, and we're going to start recovering now in the next coming days. 2 of them, right? One of them taking 89K, one of them not taking 89K. It leans more that this is a reaccumulation schematic, and there's one main reason why. That has to do with volume, okay? Volume is very important to understand and speculate if you are in a distribution, right? Which is, you know, there is 2 types of distribution as well, not taking the high and also taking the high. Now, as we do not see massive selling volume, and we would go with the largest US exchange, which is Coinbase, there is not much selling pressure on the downtrend. You actually got some nice high volume spikes, okay, to the upside, which is a good sign for a reaccumulation. When you do take a look at the distribution of 2021, on the movements down, okay, after hitting the highs, we had a bit of a triple top in 2021, right? Back in March, April, right, we had a little bit of a triple top, which was a distribution. If you analyze on the daily time frame, the movement down, you had higher volume on the movements down, okay? On the movements down, you had higher volume. People were getting out. They were distributing. It is not the case here. This is why we are leaning on this scenario, and all-time high in the next coming weeks is highly likely, with or without taking out the low of $89,000, right? It's going to be looking very interesting. I think there could be a devastating, you know, kind of fearful moment hitting 88, 87K before we get the spring point, right? So it's going to be like really testing your patience and, you know, being in doubt, right? Distribution is the one with less probability, at least the one in this area, which is not taking out the high, right? There is another distribution schematic, which is this one right over here, where you do not take out the high after the double top. You get a little bounce, and then you start rolling down. Low probability for this one. And we do not know the probability for the other schematic, because we need to hit all-time high. And depending on the selling pressure that comes in here after hitting $110,000 and closing daily candles beneath the all-time high, then will be a moment of doubt, okay? There will be a moment of doubt. We'll be talking about that once that happens, right? On stream. So anyway, that is the higher time frame. When we take into consideration Elliott Wave theory, it makes more sense that all of this is corrective. Taking out the low or not taking out the low. The most bullish case scenario on the reaccumulation that is not taking out the low would be considering this as a ABC, right? Zigzag, a zigzag right over here. And you have finished your correction, okay? In a contracting move, it's not the most beautiful. It looks horrible, okay? but it looks pretty damn good. Okay, let's take a look at this scenario, right? This one right over here, right? This being the creek stage, which does not take out the low. You have your A in a zigzag, B in another zigzag right over here, taking out the high, and then you have your finished C wave in an expanding 5-wave move, which is extremely rare, but however, we need to take it into consideration for a running flat. Now, why is this low, you know, a possibility to be a running flat? It was because this was the biggest liquidation event in crypto, okay? It was the biggest liquidation event in crypto, and biggest liquidation events in cryptocurrency could signal a low, such as the FTX collapse in November of 2022. That was the low and one of the biggest liquidation events. And also, we had the C19 crash in March of 2020, which could also, you know, be the low, and it was the low. So this is why this scenario regarding Elliott wave theory for an ABC flat in your C wave in an expanding move, which is very rare, a running flat is also very, very rare. Just because this was the largest liquidation event, we need to consider it might be the low, right? At $91,000. We're only $4,000 away from that low. So you might think, I don't think so. It's not going to be the low this time, right? We're going to dip down beneath that level and then we might get the bounce, right? This is why we need to consider the other scenario, right? And this, at the end of the day, would be looking like this, right? Let's just put this right over here so we can consider that running flat, and we'll just mark this right over here like this as the most bullish case scenario for Bitcoin for the next coming days, right? We'll just add that here to the folder. And then we'll take a look at the other scenario. The other scenario, which is taking out the low, is looking at a WXY, where you got your zigzag right over here. And now what you do have is a W in a zigzag right over here. You got your flat. This was explained on Saturday. You got a flat move right over here. You got your first movement down, okay? ABC. This is an ABC basically, right? In your W, you got your X right over here. So you got W, X, and now you're in the formation of your Y, which you would be expecting it to take out the lows, where you have your first initial drop down in a contracting move. I have it in a folder here. Okay, we can go through that. And then you have your flat scenario right over here. And now you're just starting the impulsive move down, right? Which is finishing your A, B, and C right there. Now we need to focus locally what is happening, right? And how this could evolve in the next coming hours and days, right? Most importantly. So that is the bearish case scenario, which you actually break down, right? This is a bullish case scenario as well that we are considering, which you're finishing here your WXY in a triangle. You got your WXY. This is still a scenario that we're looking at. Very possible. We'll go through them, you know, step by step in the next coming minutes, all right? That's another scenario. This scenario, that's on the lower time frames. This is the other bearish case, right? Where we're looking at the WXY and you're forming your A, B, C right over here, where you have your contracting move in your A wave, in a 5-wave move down, very choppy. You got your flat scenario right over here, and now you're just starting the impulsive move down in 5 waves, which you already formed your first initial wave. So what comes next eventually is a pretty powerful 3rd wave down, right? If this were to be your first initial drop. That's the bearish case scenario, right? So let's go right away through the local timeframes, and that is where people are interested in. People are interested in what is happening locally. And we are just bouncing from the lows of the range and the highs of the range. So can we get a dump or a pump? And I'm going to take a look at the poll right now because there's going to be a lot of votes. That's what we're waiting for here. Looking at the poll. Are we getting the movement down, or are we getting the movement up? That's what I want to know. So let's go right away through the comment section, and then we'll deep dive into the local price action. Okay, we'll deep dive into the local price action. The Legends trading community are aware of the different scenarios that could happen here, and we're going to point them out right away on the stream. How many likes we do have here, guys, before we go through the lower time frame? It is super important. How bad do you think the Bybit hack really is? I think it's pretty good. There is some good news, okay? There is some good news. Withdrawals are normal. They have bought Ethereum, okay? Almost $1 billion, right? 742 million. They are doing just fine, okay? So they've done an awesome job throughout the last few days. You know, I wouldn't be, obviously it's something to be concerned about, okay? No doubt. But they're handling the situation very, very well, okay? Now, what is dangerous is future hacks, right? What is dangerous on exchanges and, you know, in general is future hacks. You know, how can they prevent future hacks like these ones in the near future? Well, you know, they need to definitely improve the security, right? So future hacks is what is more concerning. They had the hack. They are handling the situation very nicely. You know, nothing to be fearful right now. The moment was fearful, right, when it happened. But after this, they are handling the situation very, very nicely, okay? All of the funds of the clients are, you know, safe. The ones that asked for the withdrawal, they got the withdrawal. No problems at all. BTC may fall to 5,600. Well, that's very far away, right? We ain't gonna on this stream, right? Bitcoin we know that Bitcoin is gonna go to $1 million at some point in the future, right? But it ain't gonna happen this year. Will it go down to 5,000 like someone's saying in the comment section? I don't think that's gonna happen this year, or it might never happen, only if we get a massive energy crisis, or I don't know, something very, very bad worldwide. Then Bitcoin could go to 5K, right? Never say never. I don't think it's likely, but it's possible, as we say. Let's take a look here at what the people have been voting. We got over 600 votes. 94.9K is the favorite, 61%, 39%, I say 97. We are so close to hitting this low. Will we just roll down, or will we see a pump out of nowhere, right? Or will we just end up breaking down very aggressively, which is also a possibility. This is why we're going to map the situation, and there's no doubt about it, guys, okay? Make sure to stay tuned. This is where we get technical. This is where we get, you know, inspiring, right? Based on what is happening here. Shall we take a look at the bearish case locally first, which is eventually taking out 94.9K, or the bullish one first, which we do take out $97,000. Let me know, guys, what you want first in the comment section, because this is purely technical and there are ways to trade this range safely, either on shorts and in longs, right? You can trade this kind of safely. Audio is laggy. Let me know. Okay, audio is laggy. What's going on? Please check your microphone. Let me do a double check here, guys. Microphone seems good. The signal's coming out. The bullish scenario, bearish. Let me know if the mic is good, guys. This is important. It's extremely important. Okay, before we go for both scenarios. We are going up, says here 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗽. All good for me, says Aditya. Audio is good. Okay, Aditya, my man, much love to you. Strongest moderator here for the moment. Much love to you. Guys, remember, if you are interested in trading, weeks, I've spoke to the team, all good for claiming that bonus. You get in between $10 or $100 of bonus. It might be 20, it might be 80, it might be 100, just by linking your phone number with your email. There are some people that are trying to use phone numbers from their family members and creating new emails. This is a one-time bonus for one email, guys. Stop trying to do tricky things, okay? Because we've got some people saying I couldn't claim the bonus. Hundreds of people have been claiming this bonus throughout the last week, okay? Just by signing up. It is there, guys. It is legit. It's free money. You can use it for trading. You get that bonus with the second link down below, okay? For all of the bigger players that don't care too much about the bonus, you do get 50% fee reduction on your trades, all right? And also $30,000 deposit bonus. The more you deposit and trade and more volume that you move, you're gonna get airdrops of thousands of dollars, all right? But you need to move some volume. Check out the link, guys. You'll be eligible for all of those bonuses with the second link down below. I've been using Weeks for months now, and it works just as good as Bybit and other exchanges. Bybit, of course, Bybit for me has always been the best, all right? And still, after the hack, still good, guys. You still got a great bonus with the first link, okay? Bybit has been my favorite. And just because they had the hack doesn't mean it's not my favorite. They're handling the situation very well. It's still a good exchange, guys. Still good. But eventually, you never want to have all of your crypto funds, right, on a centralized platform. Just the ones that you want to use for trading, right? Stay on the safe side always. Let's go. Background link music, please. Pump me a lot for a bad trade. My man, the music comes from 𝗬𝗆𝘆𝗽. He gave me this music. Okay, the like button is getting absolutely smashed. Let's get to 300 likes, and we're going to focus on the intraday scenarios on Bitcoin here, okay? Right away, as we do speak, guys. Let's get that like button to 300. The Legends trading community are aware about the setups and the risk management on how to play this local intraday scalping zone. All right, let's get to 300 likes because this is incredibly interesting. We have a lot of information throughout yesterday and today on what is happening here. There is a very bearish case scenario, but there is a nice little short-term bullish case, which is actually getting the move up to $97,000. Could you believe it? Take that with a pinch of salt, guys, but we're going to be going through the bearish case scenario first of all. All right? Bearish case scenario first of all. Let's go, 𝗬𝗆𝘆𝗽, my man. Here he is. I was just saying I got this banging tune on the background just because of you guys. If you don't know who 𝗬𝗆𝘆 is, go and check him out. He is here in the comment section. He has a great YouTube channel, and he's also in the Legends trading community as a coach, guys. Go and check him out. He is here in the comment section. There he is, guys. Go and check out 𝗬𝗆𝘆𝗽. Absolute legend. Right over here. Great, awesome technical analysis and education. Okay, let's go right away through the bearish case. First of all, 500 likes equal BTC to 97.5. Maybe. We got to 300. Okay, so let's start off, okay? All right, we're going to keep it simple, straightforward. We got a very aggressive movement down on Friday. That's a very one-wavy situation. What happens with one waves? You expect the lows to be taken after a bounce, okay? There's no such thing as two waves in trading, right? There's no such thing as two waves in trading. It's either 3 waves or 5 waves. So, with that theory, you can come to the conclusion that the low is going to be taken at some point. All right? Just with that easy, right? Quick, simple theory. 3 waves or 5 waves. As we only have this one wave down, the question is, this bounce right over here, was this the high before taking out the low, or could you form a zigzag move and then come down? That is the situation right now. This could have been the high. It might have not been the high, and you form one more wave up, right? and then you come down, or this was it. If this was the high, there is a way in counting this as a zigzag move, okay? I have to say, there is a way in counting this as a zigzag. Very, you know, the C wave is very shallow, not the most beautiful one, I have to say, but the timing is just about right. The timing is just about right here, okay? When you take into consideration timing from the drop, all right, in the correction. So the bearish case here is that you are building multiple 1-2s before you get the big breakdown in a third wave, right? Are we going to get that breakdown in a third wave? Are we going to be forming not the most beautiful looking one, but I have to say there is a possibility of just sweeping up the low, creating a swing failure pattern because you formed a contracting move here in an ABC. This is the less probable scenario, but we need to consider it. This is why we need to consider a swing failure pattern from the lows. I don't like it too much, right? You would lean more on a higher probability of multiple 1-2s, 3, 4, 5s, 4, 5s. That is more likely to happen on a breakdown than actually speculating on this movement down on a contracting move. It's still possible. Why? Because from this high, you got this being a one wave, this being another wave, this being another wave, and this being another wave, and now you expect this to be another wave down, right? So you would form that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, completing your C wave, right? That would be like, yeah, I don't think this is gonna happen, but it might. You need to give the possibility, right? And this forms an ABC right there. Is it possible? Absolutely yes. The other extreme bearish case, now you would want that low to be hit, and that would be the zone where you're interested in taking a possible long for a double bottom only if you do SFP. I will consider that long, okay? I will consider that long position. If you break down very aggressively, we got our other levels, right? Based on the triangle. We can go through that in the next coming minutes, but overall, we need to focus on the bearish case here. We're going to go through the bullish case, guys, and you'll be surprised. But let's continue with the bearish case, which is multiple 1-2s, right? Where you formed your wave one here, bang, very aggressive, right, throughout Friday. You got your bounce. And then you got your next wave one and your wave two, right? 3 wave move, zigzag right there. You got a zigzag here. You got another movement down. This is your next, okay, wave 1 and 2. And you got another zigzag move up here. Do you have another smaller 1-2 right there? Maybe yes. Maybe yes. I mean, I don't like it too much, but it's a 1-2, 1-2, 1-2. And you can see, you know, if this is going to be bearish, you need to break down in a third wave here and then create 4 5s, 4 5s, right? That would be the scenario here, basically. 1-2, smaller 1-2, smaller 1-2. You create the third wave, and then you create 4 5, 4 5, 4 5. The same 4 5s that you have here. Now, you want to maintain lower highs in this area. This is why shorting the lower highs here is not a bad option. Most commonly on your wave 2s, you do retrace to the golden pocket, maybe the 7/8 Fibonacci. And if you're considering every single bounce a wave 2 here, that you're building up an explosive breakdown here that's going to rip, right? Well, eventually, if you do take a look at Fibonacci, from the pivot highs to the pivot lows locally, you're getting rejected here at the golden pocket. The next one is getting rejected at the golden pocket, almost 7/8. The next one did get above the 7/8, almost hitting the point, hitting the 0.88, right? That's where you reject to still continue the lower highs if you are predicting a multiple 1-2, 1-2, and you're just going to break down in a third wave. So these lower highs at the golden pocket 7/8 range are acceptable to get into a short with your invalidation at the highs, basically, right? And you're looking for the breakdown. You're looking for the breakdown at some point with the multiple 1-2s. So they're acceptable to jump into a short scalp, right? Scalp day trade. till you get the breakdown, basically claiming the lows being your TP1. However, let's talk about the bullish case scenario, right? That's the bearish case scenario, which, you know, could happen. What is the bullish case scenario? Well, we know that there is high probability that this low is going to be claimed at some point, right? That's the highest probability. So whatever happens here, we need to kind of map the situation to, you know, what would be the local bullish case scenario, right? What would you explain if the price pumps to $97,000? Which has a chance, I have to say. Also, the fact that we hit the 0.88 Fibonacci here from this pivot low to the pivot high increases the probability that this low will be taken. However, there's still a chance for the price to take out $97,000. It's still possible. However, this increases that this movement will be corrective. And I would be interested in looking for short positions if the price manages to get above $97,000. I'll be looking very carefully on how we've moved up there if we were to go up there. I don't know if we're going to go up there, but if we go up there, I'm interested in taking shorts, and I'll be analyzing the local time frame very carefully. Why? Because we hit the 0.88 Fibonacci. That's our main reason. We got this being very one wavy. You know, you would expect the lows to be claimed either in the next coming hours or taking out the highs and then coming down. You know, it's just a higher probability to form a three-wave move at least, right? Or a five-waver. You never know. It's just highly likely that that low is going to be taken with or without a bounce. So that is where you come and map the situation, saying, you know, where can I short? Where can I long? Where can I? Well, if you take this into consideration, the 112, 112 in this case, you would have to look for a short either here. You would have to look for a short either on this bounce, round about this range, 61878. Here also 61878, right? Stop loss above the high. And, you know, look for that 3, 4, 5 coming or building up. The bullish case, we're going to talk about it right away because it's still possible, even though the price is, you know, losing momentum. There was something good about the bullish case, and that was that we were forming some pretty nice bullish CVD divergence. However, we've been forming some local bearish CVD divergence, unfortunately. And the local divergence are the ones that have priority. So things change here by the minute almost when you're trading Bitcoin locally, where you have on the higher time frames, guys, as we do see on the CVD, right? Whichever, you know, platform that you're using, right? We got AGGR.trade here with some multiple exchanges. You have higher lows on the price action, higher lows on the price action, lower lows on the CVD. Lots of people interested in shorting as well here, this momentum, right? To claim the lows, right? That's the target zone. That's the breakdown that we're looking for. But you have bullish CVDs, right? This is good. This is actually pretty good to give a chance to the bulls for the reversal. Lots of shorts, lots of absorption going on here. And what kind of pattern do we have on this absorption to give a bullish case scenario? What is in disadvantage right now locally is the local bearish CVD, right? Local bearish CVD divergence that has been forming here very, very locally, right? Where you do have higher highs on the CVD, you got lower highs right there. So this is not favoring the possible bullish case because you want to claim the local lows every single time, right? You've got some slightly higher highs on CVD, lower highs right there. You're coming back down to the lows. So the local bearish CVD is not helping for that recovery. But as you claim the lows, that is it. As you do claim the lows, that's it. The local bearish CVDs have been happening, right? It's happened. And you got these massive bullish CVDs on the formation. So you need to give the bulls a chance. And if they do step in, then it could be a pretty awesome move to the upside. Now, what is that bullish case scenario? Well, the only local bullish case scenario that I have here for you, which is claiming $97,000, you know, this bullish case scenario isn't going to all-time high. I'm sorry, right? This is a day trading setup. But the bullish case scenario is that this was not the end of the bounce. This was not the end of the zigzag. And you're going to break down. That you are going to be forming a larger zigzag, right? To claim $97,000, where you do have liquidity, not as much as down here, but you do have liquidity here. Could we get one pump and dump before we go to lower levels? That is the question. If we want to map here this ABC move, well, this is extremely complex, right? To try and map the possibility, right? That is if we do not see the multiple 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, and then it's just going to be a 3, 4, 5, right? 4, 5. We actually break down here from this low. That is if the contracting move does not happen, which is extremely rare, I have to say. You know, this would be a rare scenario, but we need to take it into consideration because you can actually count a 5-wave contracting move here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Take out the low one more time to complete your ABC in this case. This would be a very, very rare, you know, a C wave, right, in a contracting move. You know, it does happen, but it's not usually the highest probability. So I would lean on the breakdown, on the successful breakdown, on the multiple 1, 2s, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. You actually break down, okay? But, you know, it's still an option. You can trade, manage your risk very well. If you gently tap the lows here and you SFP, it's a possible double bottom. Some might say, right, if you do put the different pattern scenarios here, some even might say it's an Adam and Eve double bottom, right? You got the Adam quick movement down. You got your neckline, which is 97K. And you got your Eve right there. Adam and Eve, guys, right? For all of those pattern lovers, double bottoms and triple bottoms, right? Adam and Eve is when you have a sharp move down, you get the local bounce, right? In a kind of a triangle, right? In a kind of a V shape. And then you get your Eve right there, which is nice and round and nice and slow. Adam and Eve, quick spike, quick bounce, neckline, 97K. You tap the lows, SFP, and you double bottom. We need to give it a chance. We need to give it a chance. Why not? You know, and with the most bullish case, it would be a contracting move finishing your ABC, right? I have to say, why not? Why not? I can get into a trading setup here safely. We might get it on the live stream. We're moving down now. It might happen. Looks like we want to break down. Is it going to happen? The other bullish case scenario, which I was mapping with the Legends trading community, out of that trade, but it could be a re-entry, right? What you did have was a possible, okay, it could get dangerous right now. We really need to see some kind of a reaction if we want to consider the bullish case, but it's breaking down. At the moment, would not be too interested in longing this movement to the downside. But it's still, we need to still give it a chance for the bulls, okay? I was mapping a bullish case scenario, which could have happened here, but we're breaking down the triangle, so we're not interested in a long here. Was attempting this scenario, right, which was looking at a possible A, B, C, and your B wave. And this could still go on. If we still range here in the next coming hours, we need to possibly extend this triangle, right? If we form a higher low, it is still very possible, but this is literally a WXY inside of your B wave, where you have your double zigzag right over here. You have a zigzag right over here, and now you had your triangle formation. It was an idea, it was a possibility. Then you get that movement up. Just because we had very strong bullish CVD divergence, we had to consider this scenario, which is not playing out eventually. Now we're breaking down the triangle here, right? You're breaking down the support on this possible event, so it's no longer valid at this current moment, right? And this is really mapping the B wave as a possible WXY, which is very, very complex, of course. You build up here the pattern as it goes through, which is literally here your W right there, double zigzag, a zigzag right there, and your X, and then your triangle on your Y, which is not playing out. It's invalidated at the moment. So that is one that you take out off the chart. You don't consider that scenario anymore as you're breaking the triangle support level. So it does look like it's going to manage to squeeze down here. If we eventually lose this low, it is looking more bearish right now. It is looking more bearish right now. I mean, if we were to ever so slightly miss out on the low right now and get the bounce, it would be rare, right? And it's extremely, extremely hard. But if we were to bounce from here, just imagining, right, that we do not take out the lows just because we have incredible bullish CVD divergence, all right? If we do not take out that low because of massive absorption going on and we suddenly get a bounce here without taking out the low, then we have to consider the possibility of the triangle extending. This would be rare. I mean, I have to say, there's lots of absorption going on here, lots of bullish CVDs, okay, happening at the moment. So the thing of correcting that low is just extremely rare. If this is a higher low, it could still be part of the triangle. And wow, I mean, I have to say, this has been extremely, extremely hard. Extremely hard. Because you would never get into a long position here, at least myself, being so close to the lows. I would need to see the pattern still develop, and then we'll go from there. But essentially, if we were to get a bounce from here, which I don't think is going to happen, we're likely going to take out the lows in the next coming hour, right, or so, or even minutes. You would have to give the chance here. And if that low is claimed, then we're likely going to get the movement down, right? We're going to drop a few $100s. You know, this would be a level that I would never long in a million years, right? But it's just coming to the conclusion that what if we do not take out this low where we just literally beside it? I think it's going to take out the low. I'm going to be ready for this reaction, guys, okay, on this low. There's no long trading setup here for me right now. If we were to form a higher low here based on the very strong bullish CVDs, which is still there, I mean, this would be a level that I could not long, even though if we do get the bounce, it's just you're asking to get stopped out, basically, right? There's just this is not a range to put a stop loss. You're just asking to get stopped out. So this wouldn't be a long that I would enter ever. But if we were to bounce here without taking out the low, I mean, that contracting move, it does not look good at all. I don't like it here to complete your C wave. But my goodness, is it possible? Of course it's possible, where you form a double bottom. So we really need to be kind of a sniper if we do wick down below this low, you know, for a possible quick entry, guys. I have to say, if we recover from this low, you got a few seconds to sniper if you get a little bit of a V shape, just so you can be defensive with your stop. And if you break down, which is very much very likely the scenario, then we look for lower levels, right? We're going to be ready for a possible live trade here on stream, depending on the reaction from the different levels, right? So we're just looking at locally here what's happening. If you were to miss this low, wow, it's going to be incredible. If you do miss that low, you form a higher low, you get a bounce here. I would still have to give the WXY possibility here. I think that low is going to be taken, but I would still consider this. However, you're eventually moving this, like so. And it's just giving it a chance because of the bullish CVDs, right, that we do have locally. I don't think we're going to take that low, very likely not right now, and this will be completely invalidated if that low is taken. But if we were to form a higher low and form a zigzag move, and then another zigzag move, I would really still consider this scenario, which it doesn't look like we're so close of claiming the low. This would be kind of a miracle right now to get a bounce from here. And then I would really, you know, consider it. We're taking out the low right now as we speak, and this invalidates this scenario for the moment. Well, not for the moment, it invalidates that scenario, right? It had a chance. This is also kind of a diamond pattern, right? For all of those, you know, pattern lovers, we had like a diamondy formation here, which I don't consider it. It's just nice to see. It's not a high probability scenario, a diamond bottom or a diamond top. It has very low probability in breaking either up, right? In this case, as a bottom, very small percentage increase. But it's breaking down for the moment. So now we're considering where are the levels of a reaction. We're just about to take out that low. Is it going to break down? The very bearish case scenario is that we are forming a third wave right now in a multiple 1-2, where we formed a 1-2, 1-2, and now we're forming the 3, and it's going to break down pretty aggressively, okay? So it's going to be an interesting scenario. Now, as we break through, any aggressive bottom catches, there is a bottom catch here that might happen live on stream if it does get the reaction, and that is speculating on this triangle scenario. Okay, and eventually we are looking at the 7.8 or the 0.88 Fibonacci, and it could be a sniper. Let's see. This is kind of in confluence with the ABC. I mean, it would be a shallow C wave. It would be kind of a double bottom scenario if you bounce at the 7.8 or you bounce at the 0.88. One of the two levels are very interesting. You could arguably discuss that this is your A wave, this is your B wave, and now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in a contracting move right there. And you get your expanding fifth wave right there, and then you get the bounce. Not very likely, I have to say. Not very likely, but you would have to consider it. So the multiple 1-2 scenario looks like the one that's going to play out. We have 1-2, 1-2, and you're actually going to break down, and you're even going to invalidate this scenario. If we start chopping down here, guys, above this low, it's going to be looking very interesting, but we need to see proof of support. We need to see some proof of support in this area to consider this triangle. So we're slowly breaking down right now. The lows are likely going to be claimed. They're just being claimed right now. We just really need to be aware with the double 1-2 here. 1-2, 1-2, and you're just forming the third wave, 4-5, 4-5. You're actually going to break down from here. multiple 1-2 is very possible. This was an acceptable area to short down to the lows. This was explained in the legends. I like the idea of longing here and being defensive, of course. And I like the idea of shorting the triangle, basically, right? Shorting the highs of the triangle to speculate on the bearish case, which is the 1-2, 1-2. If you break down right now with power, we just claimed the lows right now as we speak. Just claiming those lows. And we're literally at the lows as we speak right now. Let's go through the comment section. Breaking the lows at the moment. Let's see how aggressive this movement is. Let's go through comment section. Remember, guys, if you are interested in trading, you do have weeks, okay, which is giving that free bonus of $10 to $100. You get 50% fee reduction with my link down below. And for the big players, you do have up to $30,000 deposit bonus, okay? The more you deposit and trade, you're going to get loads of airdrops throughout the next coming weeks if you move significant volume, okay? I've been trading there for weeks. It works absolutely wonderful, guys. I'm telling you, I've been trading there for weeks right now. Check out the bonuses. It's the second link down below. We're just literally beneath that low. Would be nice to see the 7-8, how it reacts. Can we break down it, get back above it, consider a possible long trading setup, or are we going to break down the 7-8 and go to 0.88, get a reaction, consider that long position when we are looking at this higher time frame triangle formation? Double bottom right now is not an option. Still trading beneath those lows. So lower we go. Lower we go. Let's go. Andy, my man, check bearer chain, please. We can go through some altcoins, guys. It's just a very interesting area where I am, interested in the reaction to get into a possible long, guys. Okay, we're just remaining a little bit patient, right? As we are beneath this low, there are some pivots. I'm going to set some alerts up here and also at the 7-8. And then we can take a look at some altcoins because I'm interested in checking how the price moves. If we do get back above, to either get into a long position or not get into a long position, depending on the scenarios. If we break down, we need to consider other setups, okay? We need to consider if we do break down and the 7-8.88 does not get any type of reaction where we can trade in safely with good stop losses, right? Because the idea of this is looking for a pretty epic recovery in the next coming days, all right? This is more of a little swing trade. It might take a few days. Remaining patient, we're moving down. No rush in entering into any long positions right now as we start hitting the levels and recovering above the levels, right? That's what we want to see. I'm not longing against the trend. I will long the possible bounce based on the reaction. And if the price just breaks down from all of these levels, we need to consider the ultimate bearish case, which is basically breaking down in a wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. You actually take out $89,000 in the next coming days. But this is probably going to be epic. The faster you move down, the more interested I'm going to be looking for the long positions. That is this case, okay? The WXY, where from this bounce, you formed a contracting move in a 5-waver. You got your flat ABC, and now you're forming your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, right? Potentially taking out $89,000. That is if we break down very aggressively. okay, which we don't know yet, right? We're moving down, but there's nothing too major just as of yet. So anyway, we can go through some altcoins right now if you want. Oh, if Bitcoin's moving down ever so slightly, altcoins are probably getting wrecked, guys. We're just at the 7.8 right now. Just at the 7.8 Fibonacci. I kind of want to take a look at some altcoins, and I kind of don't want to take a look at some altcoins. Let's take a look at the CVD divergence that has been building up, right? I mean, this, as you can see, the local bearish CVD divergence have finally taken out the lows. This is why local divergence, local CVD divergence are more powerful. And when you do zoom in here, right, you do have the higher time frame, higher lows, lower lows on the CVD, lower lows on the CVD. And most of the people that get into CVD to use for their trading, they'll be like, how come we took out the lows as we were building up so strong bullish CVD divergence? Because locally, after the price action from the left, we were forming bearish CVD divergence, which have priority on the market. You could form the biggest bullish CVD divergence here ever, that if your local new price action is forming bearish CVD divergence, in this case, what we do have here, all right, is, where do we have them? We do have some right over here. We did have these ones right over here. Where are they? Slightly higher highs, lower highs right there to take out the lows, and the price was just rolling down. So these local, just new ones were actually more powerful to break down the lows than the ones that were building up throughout the weekend, right? Right? You are aggressively downtrending here throughout Friday's drop. And I was looking at these bullish CVDs and giving the triangle a scenario to break up. Okay, this triangle over here, I was giving it a chance, but local bearish CVD divergence was leading. So we're breaking down from the 7.8, no reaction, lower we go. Not interested yet, guys, in any long trading setups. Okay, not interested. We're just moving down. There's danger here based on multiple 1-2s. If this is going to be an impulsive move down, which it looks like it right from Friday's drop, and this right over here is your bounce and the end of the corrective wave, the most bearish case scenario is a multiple 1-2 scenario, right? Where you just move down in a wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, and now you're just building up that third wave that could absolutely waterfall. Okay, so yeah, you want to be very, very cautious here with this scenario, with this area. Was looking pretty interesting. The shorts and the long setups. Okay, so how you could have handled this area was basically shorting and longing the triangle resistance and support. So, you know, there were some safe longs here to be getting into where you get stopped out, and that's the end of that. And there's also, right, as a day trader, where we do look for longs and shorts every single day. Of course, we can lean more on a bullish case or a bearish case a lot of the times. I was leaning a little bit on the bullish case. I was giving it a chance, but it's all about managing the risk, okay, throughout that, throughout the different scenarios. Because as a day trader, if you do see the bullish case, which was that WXY, right? The triangle breaks up. And the bearish case, you realize of the 112 where you need to get into a possible short and you're in validation, and where you want to get into a long and you're in validation. If you break the triangle, you don't want to be in the trade, right? All those people that breakout traders can actually get into a short right there, right? I'm not much of a breakout trader myself, but yeah, this would be the breakout trade, right? Where you break the triangle, you get into the short, stop inside of the triangle, and you ride the momentum down. So we're breaking down 7-8, no major reaction. We're going to chill here a little bit regarding taking long trades into consideration as we're just rolling down. And of course, the people that wanted to get into a short position, a scalp day trade short, literally needed to get in on one of the 112 scenarios, right? If you lose the low, the next bounce, 61878 Fibonacci zone is your interest zone, stop loss at the high, entry area. You're targeting the lows as a TP1, and you would want to maintain some of that short because you're building up a third wave down, right? Which is eventually the one that is being more aggressive. So you need to lean on that scenario, but you're targeting the lows literally. If you 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, the lows is your TP1. And you can leave some open as long as you're beneath this low to maintain some of that short still open if you wish. Let's go right away through the comment section. Shall we take a look at some altcoins? We're breaking down the 7-8. So 0.88 is going to be one of our levels to see if we do get some kind of reaction. But I'm going to be very, very chilled here regarding the very bearish case, okay, which is a multiple 1-2. If this is a multiple 1-2 setup, we got 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, and it could be getting nasty. So we're going to be very, very chilled regarding long positions, okay? Price is just collapsing, no rush. I would rather jumping in a long trade setup on a reaction and a nice bounce and realize the strength where I can jump in, just like the short position that I entered right over here, which was quick. It was from the phone after the stream, after getting the rejection. We got the Bybit hack, which was bringing a bit of FUD, of course, and that helped the movement to the downside. But I was not in a short position as the price was pumping, right? So this is why I don't want to catch the long here, regardless if it does bounce at some stage. We can find a long setup once we see a sign of strength. And we can talk about that on the stream, right? This is why we got into the short position. Well, we talked about the short trade setup based on the rejection. Get into the short after a first rejection, because we were breaking above the, value area high of the range. I didn't short the top here, guys. You know that. I showed the trade right on Saturday. I didn't short the top. I shorted after the first rejection, then bounce. So we're still considering this scenario. I mean, this short trading setup was based on the triangle as well, where we were looking for the lows of the range. We're kind of breaking value area low at the moment. But we broke value area low a few days ago, and we bounced right back up here, right? So the short trade was also purely based off the triangle formation. It's going to be interesting the next coming hours, guys. Let's see if we do get some proof of support. If we do get proof of support and a nice little bounce, and we start moving above value area low again, this will no longer look impulsive. So at the moment, it's looking impulsive. It looks like it's a multiple 1-2 setup, and this could be breaking down. As we develop this price action, 1-2, 1-2, 3, 4, 5, 4, 5, this could end up very bad. So I'm not interested in the long at the moment. This would be an aggressive long if we were to get a reaction at the 0.88. We're literally at the support of the triangle right now. A bit aggressive. It is a bit aggressive. if the price were to get a nice little bounce from here and we start pumping above the value area low with a significant push, if we do claim these highs, that will be looking very, very bullish. Very, very bullish for a reversal. I will be looking for long positions here like crazy. And I would consider this the end of a zigzag in this triangle structure, okay? Price is getting a little bit of a bounce right now, but very, very difficult to get into a long here right now, I have to say. You know, I was looking at the 0.88 or the 7.8. We broke down the 7.8. We didn't reach the 0.88. I would rather wait for a sign of strength and start claiming the local highs, because this will be looking very, very bullish, guys. And this could be the end of this local correction only if we start claiming value area low. We start claiming these local lower highs, just like the short trade taken a few days ago. I could not short and try and detect the top here based off the breakout of the resistance. So better safe than sorry. And we wait for a sign of strength here, because we are considering the bearish case scenario, which is a multiple 1-2. And I had a long position, got stopped out here, and hedged with a short position as well, okay? Hedged also with a short based on the multiple 1-2 scenario. If you are interested in trading, remember, Weeks is the platform that I have been trading here for the last few months. It's absolutely great. You just need an email and a password, guys. Anybody that is not interested on the bonuses, you get 50% fee reduction on your trades just by signing up, guys, okay? 50% fee reduction, which is very, very nice, of course, right? Those active traders out there. And for those that are interested in a quick bonus, a quick, nice bonus just by signing up and linking your phone number, you can win in between $10 or $100 so you can use for your trading, okay? For the bigger players, you're going to get airdrops of thousands of dollars. If you are depositing significant amount and you're trading big volume, you're going to get big bonuses of thousands of dollars, guys. You got those perks right there with the second link down below, okay? On Weeks, if you're interested in trading on Weeks, okay? Great platform, been using it for months. 𝗬𝗫. Somebody's asking about 𝗬𝗫. I assume that a lot of the altcoins are getting, you know, they are getting absolutely destroyed. 𝗬𝗫 is doing pretty okay. Is doing pretty okay with this local drop on Bitcoin. There's not much to chart on 𝗬𝗫 as it was launched just a few weeks ago, okay? So we ain't going to do chart analysis on this. It's just slowly corrected after this pump. Let's take a look at the altcoin overview of the top 100. Hedera hash graph is getting a little bit of a pump. Let's take a look at Hedera hash graph here. Bitcoin, not interested, guys. We need a little bit of a sign of strength. This is still waterfalling. If we bounce, I will manage to jump into a trade wherever, right? Wherever we get a sign of strength, I'll be analyzing the correction. Of course, the Legends trading community will be getting an update if I do see something very interesting on Discord. But for the moment, it was trading the range. I was interested in a long at the lows, interested in a short at the highs. And the one that wins, wins. And this was just intraday, very aggressive scalping. And the short trade was the one that won here based on the double 1-2 scenario on Bitcoin. And we're going to give it the bears a little bit of a chance here to see if they break down. If you did short, I would say, why not take some profits, right? If anybody that shorted throughout the weekend or throughout the last few hours on these lower highs, you've claimed the lows, you're dropping down. You know, why not take a bit of more profits? Especially if you get back above this low is going to be interesting. Anybody that's been shorting here, I would maintain some of that short. But if you reclaim the lows I would really take most of the profits. Me personally, I mean, you can do what you want, but I would start, you know, feeling that that could be a little bit of a sign of strength if you reclaim this low very initially. It could still be building up multiple 1-2s, but that's going to be a short-term sign of strength if we do reclaim that low. Okay, very hard for me. We are bouncing ever so slightly now. It was very, very hard for me to get into a long position from the lows, trying to catch the lows here. So we're going to have to wait for a little bit of market structure, sign of strength. We are getting above the 7-8 right now. Yeah, this scenario will be looking very interesting depending on the sign of strength that we do get here on the bounce. If we do start moving up here very nicely, it's going to be looking very, very interesting. Of course, the bearish case scenario, if you do claim $97,000, is an ABC flat. That's another thing to take into consideration, right, for the bears. You know, this has been your first initial wave 1. You have your ABC flat, and then you start rolling down throughout the next coming days. We'll analyze very carefully with the Legends trading community if that is going to be a case. But you also have the triangle here, which is, oh my goodness, it's looking very attractive. This was very hard for me to catch the low because I was literally looking for the 7-8 Fibonacci or the 0.88, and we just broke down. And you know, this would have been an epic long if you hit the 0.88 and you just basically wick it and you get back above it. It was a sniper long, right? The 7-8, we broke down, you know, several $100s here, so your stop loss is a little bit far away in this case based on the recovery. So it's not one of my favorite scenarios. You know, I like a gentle tap. But, you know, I think the shorters should be taking some profits if you've been shorting throughout the weekend, without a doubt. You know, pay yourself, guys. Day trading is about paying yourself. Small, consistent profits, not looking for the epic move, all right? Let's go right away, continue. Many longs coming back under the new low, yeah. You know, and it's also looking very interesting for this scenario, right? Not this one right over here. You're at the value area low of the entire range of the last few weeks. Woo! Right, trying to break down. You do have a zigzag here, and triangle is all about zigzags. The triangles are all about zigzags. So could it be? Could it be? I will have to jump into a long later on, guys. You know, for me, this was not an easy. You got a large wick here. You got the multiple 1-2 setup. I would rather see a sign of strength first of all and jump in later on. All right, because if we are going to see a sign of strength, and this was the end of the correction, just out of speculation, I need to see a first initial wave to the upside to be confident that this looks bullish and the correction will be looking good for a long position. But till we don't have that, this has been difficult. We broke down to 7-8. We did not hit the 0.88. You know, there's no bottom catching for me on this price action. Let's go through the comment section and see what's going on, guys. Let's take a look at Hedera hash graph. Somebody was saying, go Hedera hash graph. It's looking pretty damn good. It's actually got a little bounce today. With this movement down on Bitcoin and most of the altcoins, Hedera hash graph, nothing too serious, right? Nothing too serious. It is trying to pump its way out here. Today has been a little bit bullish for Hedera hash graph. A little bounce here of a few percentage. 10% bounce from today's open, right? We got a bit of a downtrend throughout yesterday, then nice little bounce. 10% pump today on Hedera hash graph. Not bad, not bad. Still downtrending, just little bounces happening. Bitcoin will lead the way. If Bitcoin breaks down here on this being a 1-2 and you're just building up your third wave here, it ain't gonna be looking too good, guys. You got a multiple 1-2 setup. I need a sign of strength. Don't worry. You know, looking for a long position after a nice pump, guys, on the retracement is going to be the option here. All right. For the moment, it is downtrending. It doesn't look too great till we actually see the first initial bounce, claiming the lower highs. Then we could consider, preferably without taking out this low, this high, this lower high, basically. I would really consider a long position on the first initial bounce, taking out the local highs here. Higher low is what I would be speculating on to get into the long to see if we get a recovery. But for the moment, no long trades can be taken based on the bearish case, which is the multiple 1-2, and that you're building a very strong third wave down here. Okay. Not a very, very interesting scenario at the moment. 0.88 could be an attempt. I'm not going to lie. 0.88 could be an attempt. It's the only level that I would try and speculate to catch the bottom, the 0.88 here. And this is leaning on this bullish case, right, locally, which is the triangle, right? This one right over here, where you're looking at this to be a zigzag. Would give it a chance at the 0.88. Would give it a chance at the 0.88. Let's continue through the comment section right away. What do we have in the comment section? Are there many altcoins? Gonna stay on the sideline here on Bitcoin, guys. We're just moving down, so lower we go, I guess, till proven otherwise. Lower we go till proven otherwise, legends. Let's take a look at some altcoins. Shall we take a look at some altcoins? I mean, I don't even want to take a look at altcoins. I'm going to take a look at Chainlink just because it's my biggest holding and I haven't checked it. Oh man, Chainlink, what are you doing? No. Oh man. Still good. Still good. Average entry zone on Chainlink was this area, guys. Massive accumulation. I stopped accumulating at, when we got this breakout. No bueno, no bueno. No bueno. Link dump. Link is dumping. Lots of altcoins are dumping. My goodness. Link, the bane of your existence. Yes, Lauren. Ay, Chainlink. Vamos. We're just going to have to hold on another bear market if we do continue dropping, guys, and buy more at lower prices. What can we say? ADA, what's going on with ADA? I assume ADA is getting the drop as well. I mean, the Bitcoin dominance is moving up. So if dominance is going up and Bitcoin price is going down, ay, Dios mío, no. Ay, mamma mia. If dominance is going up and the price of Bitcoin is going down, it's not good for altcoins. If price is going down on Bitcoin, which it is, and dominance is going up, oh my goodness, 𝗕𝗶𝗆 is the only one that's doing its own thing, right? By the looks of things. Holy moly. ADA is getting the dump eventually. So ADA is taking the hit. This ain't looking too exciting, guys, I have to say. This is not looking too great. I mean, yeah, it's just not looking too good. You got the major drop from the major liquidation event. You got a bounce, movement down, another bounce to take out the highs. So you got your zigzag right there. Holy moly, we got, are we going to come down here? Dead cat bounce after the liquidation event, or bullish case, which is the only one that we have here on the higher time frames on ADA after that major drop at the beginning of February, is that we do form a multiple 1-2, which 1, 2, 1, 2. They need to defend this low. They need to defend the 7/8 Fibonacci. I mean, it's the only chance here, right? Well, it's hitting golden pocket, right? Still haven't hit 7/8. Golden pocket could get the bounce. We're literally there. It could bounce. 1, 2, 1, 2. I mean, we ain't going to micro count this, but we have to say, why not give it a chance? That's the only bullish case. Lots of times the liquidation event could mark a low, guys. So even despite the downtrend, is the low in for many altcoins after the drop of February? That's what I want to know. I want to know your opinion. Do you think that the liquidation event that happened on the 3rd of February, which was the largest in crypto, which many times signals the bottom, was it the bottom? I mean, this drop was devastating, especially on some altcoins. Look at ADA in a few days dropping down. How much percentage is this from the highs here? Just in about 3 days, it dropped 50% almost. Could be the bullish case is a multiple 1, 2. Golden pocket right now is getting the bounce. Well, the reaction, let's leave it that way. Golden pocket is a good chance. Golden pocket 7/8 for your 1, 2, 1, 2. Higher we go, right? Recovery. Take that with a pinch of salt, legends. Take it with a pinch of salt. Hey, look at BTC. BTC, yeah, is basically at the lows right now. We're not recovering successfully. We're not seeing a sign of strength. I need a sign of strength right now, unless we hit the 0.88. If we drop down to the 0.88, I will consider a very aggressive, good risk management, long trade. And just to take, just so you can see the risk management idea here, right? That's if this triangle does play out. Right? That is if this triangle that we have formed is going to hold, this kind of trade setup. If we get a reaction at the 0.88 on this E wave fake out, right, which does happen, I'm not going to risk too much if we get a reaction, because your stop loss is going to be glued to the low. And what I'm looking at here is something like this, right? Something not realistic. This would be the kind of setup. That is the risk management that I would be taking out here. Possibly risking 1% to maybe gain 10% in the next coming days, right? That's like, yeah, right, that's not going to happen. Well, it's a shot that I would take if we hit the 0.88. I can't long right now based on the multiple 1, 2s, and basically we're still down the lows, right, from Friday. I need a sign of strength here. Claim the local lower highs. Then this correction is going to be looking interesting, right? If we start moving in a zigzag, and this has been a very powerful move up, the correction is going to be the long entry. So I won't be catching the lows this time unless the 0.88 is hit and we get a reaction. So I will be in a long, maybe in this zone, if we get the first bounce. Okay, we need a sign of strength here. And no sign of strength is in, so I can't long this. I can't long here beneath the 7/8. I can't, it's been a major move down. We need to consider the bearish case, which is that multiple 1, 2. Not longing just as yet. I'm going to long the sign of strength, move up. I'm looking for the correction. Or the 0.88. If we react ever so slightly at the 0.88, I'm going to consider the fake out of the support, guys, here. I will consider the fake out. If it breaks down, then lower we go, guys. Then, whoever's been into the shorts and is still maintaining the shorts from the weekend, absolutely wonderful. If we recover above the lows, I would say, just collect the profits, guys, right? You don't want to enter a short position from this zone of the weekend and not collect profit, right? If this does bounce, you're going to be like, wow, I was in, pretty nice profits. Why didn't I take the profits down here? And you're getting stopped out at break even, or maybe at a loss, right? If we do pump here aggressively at some point, you want to, take profits, right? Leave some open eventually if we do continue breaking down. leave some open, but remember to pay yourself. No one sells forever. That is totally true. 50K incoming. Wow. That is very bearish. $50,000 incoming. That is extremely low, my man. What? 50,000? Double top, guys, on Bitcoin. This is it. Bear market confirmation. Breakdown of the support. I've only sold 10% of my entire portfolio that I've been accumulating for the last few years, guys. I have sold a bit of my Bitcoin, and I would be only just happy to buy at lower levels, but I will regret not selling more Bitcoin, guys, if we do drop down. You know, this is the story of every single cycle. I only sold 25% of my portfolio exactly right over here on the previous cycle, except for Chainlink. 25% of everything. I mean, it was massive profits regardless, but when we got the drop, you always regret not selling more, right? Why didn't I sell more? At least I did sell 10%, so of what I reaccumulated, right, throughout the last couple of years. But I will definitely regret, if we were to go down to 50K, I would be like, why didn't I sell 30%, right? Still bullish, guys. Still looking for another all-time high, regardless of whatever happens here, right? But make sure to have some cash. Have a well-diversified portfolio, because luckily I did sell some Bitcoin and some of, you know, some of my portfolio here. It's the only moment that I sold. And right now I've only sold 10% of my Bitcoin. I did do a bit of flip-flops, okay, on some altcoins. Still holding quite a bit. But anyway, let's go right away. 2,600 Ethereum, my goodness. This is what I'm worried about. You know, will Ethereum manage to overtake right now Solana? You know, all of the different ones. It's still in the range for many weeks right now. Will Ethereum maintain its ground and start recovering? That's, you know, a lot of people, you must have heard a lot of people on X or maybe other YouTube channels. It's time for Ethereum right now. Solana, it's had its moment. You know, it's gotten destroyed with all of the meme coin launchers. Now it's time for Ethereum, the real DeFi ecosystem. You know, the real decentralized blockchain project. Eventually, I would expect it. But 2,600 Ethereum, yeah, just a little local drop. Jupiter. What's going on with Jupiter? Sell your bags to me. See you later when buying higher. Yeah. Hank. Yeah, this is, you know, hey. If we drop down below $89,000, I would reconsider buying with the cash that I sold at 100K, right? Because I did sell 5% of my Bitcoin at 100K as well, as we were getting that all-time high just a few months ago. I would reconsider rebuying, I would reconsider allocating that stable coin that I sold and buying a bit more. Why not? It will get me a bit more Bitcoin eventually. So it's... Anyway, Hank, you never need to sell all of your Bitcoin. Bitcoin is going to go to $1 million. So it's all how you look at it on the long term, short term. I like to speculate a little bit on the short term. But never selling all of my Bitcoin ever, guys. This is the key, right? And always consider reaccumulating on the drops. Because I bought my first Bitcoin in 2018, guys. I managed to accumulate one Bitcoin in 2018. And then you just kind of DCA, play around, sell some here, DCA throughout the drops, right? And eventually the end game is not having one Bitcoin, it's having multiple Bitcoin, right? When you accumulate one, then you want two, then you want three, and the game continues, right? So I'm good with my Bitcoin holdings, and I will hold on for the next coming years. But this is short-term speculation, right? We've had an awesome rally. You know, we did a 7x from the lows to the highs, right? Give or take 7, 8x. Profits are profits, my man. So $1 million, 𝗬𝗫𝗃𝗿. Yeah, of course it will. Bitcoin will go to $1 million. We will see this in our lifetime, unless you are 80 years old or 90 years old. Maybe not. But I think, you know, 95% of us watching this will see, right, on the stream right now, we will see Bitcoin at $1 million in the next coming years. Will that be 2028 or 2032? I don't know what year it will be, but we will see it. We're going to take 93.3, right? Let's go shorter time frame. You know, we need to wait for a sign of strength, guys. There's nothing better for a day trader such as myself right now. We are beneath the lows of Friday. The 0.88 would be my next level. I am extremely aware and defensive on any long positions based on the 1, 2, and now you're forming 1, 2, 1, 2, and you're just building your third wave down, and we're going to start breaking down here. We need proof of support. I will speculate at the 0.88 for a very low capital long position, just to give a chance for this triangle, right? I will give it a chance. But I'm not going to be adding to the position. If we take out this low, I will no longer be in that long, okay? You know, just for any people that think that I get wrecked, this is not the case, guys. You know, people get wrecked when they add to the position and they expect a reversal, right? And it just goes against them and they get absolutely wrecked. You know, this is the 0.88 would only be my guideline here. If we tap it and get back above, I will sniper, stop loss at the low. I will be defensive with my stop loss. And if it breaks down, don't worry, I won't be in the long trade. I'm worried if anybody's going to be in a long trade if we do break down here. This is my guideline. Anything beneath this level, I'm not in a trade. If we get above it, I'm in the long. I'm in the stop loss here beneath the low of the fake out. Anything below here, I am not in any long trading positions. So it all really depends on the 0.88. All power on the 0.88 here to hold or to break down. Let's see. We're coming down to the level right now as we speak. No long trades in right now, guys. So we're coming down. Too much money losing for a bull run, says, yeah. This is the thing, right? 𝗕𝗶𝗃𝗿 says, 𝗖𝗿𝘆𝗽𝗃, my man, I know it's horrible. It's horrible, right? If this was the bull run, I mean, if you take a look at Solana, there are some cryptos that I do take a look at. And I say, wow, we actually had the bull run in front of our eyes already. Because if you do take a look at Solana, guys, Solana did a 20x from the lows of 2 years ago. This is only 2 years. Solana has had an epic bull run already. And this is where, you know, these are the kind of charts that I take a look at and I'm like, wow, you know, this has already had a pretty epic bull run. So was this it? Well, I have to say, you know, we're going to have to take the hit on some altcoins. You know, people that have entered, especially the last couple of months, are really going to take the pain if we were to enter a bear market, right, for the next year, because a bear market would be about a year, I would say, very aggressive, very painful. We're going to have to hold on, guys, on those, you know, crappy altcoins. But Bitcoin should always be your biggest holding. Always. Team short is winning again. I got into a small short scalp, and that was purely based on this, you know, just a little scalp. Okay. got into a small little hedge scalp, got stopped out from the triangle scenario. Little short, I've taken most of the profits. But yeah, literally, it was the multiple 1-2. Multiple 1-2 setup, right, was just adding to that short from higher. And the multiple 1-2 setup was this one right over here, right? If you are considering, you know, I will talk about a bullish case and a bearish case, always. And the bearish case is if this is a wave 1 and this is a wave 2, and this is another wave 1 and a wave 2, and this is another wave 1 and 2, you're going to break down in a third wave, and you're going to form 4-5s, 4-5s. So yeah, I'm interested in shorting the highs of this triangle and longing the lows of the triangle with very good risk management. So yeah, I mean, why not get into a short at the 61878? I mean, this one was very hard. You know, this would be one that I would not enter. But a second 1-2, giving the chance for the bears, yeah, why not enter on this one, right? 61878, or this one right over here. And stop loss at the highs, or at these highs. If you entered in this one, stop loss here. If you entered in this one, stop loss here. Even though you could get stopped out and then it moves down, it would still consider you would still consider 1-2 here. But I was focusing either in longs at the lows or shorts at the highs of the triangle. I would give in a chance for the ABC, this WXY right there, the Y in a triangle. You need to give it a chance. Manage risk, give it a chance. Stop out, you know, consider a short. This is hedging basically, right? We need a hedge. You got a bearish case. If the bearish case plays out, which is a 1-2-1-2, I want to short at the 618 and the 78. If the WXY here and your ABC and your B wave is a WXY, you're forming a triangle to finish your Y. The lower the triangle, it has to be your levels to long. Stop loss at the latest higher low to invalidate your scenario here to come here in an ABC. So we're always looking for data shorts and longs, okay? But you need a hedge. You need to be good with your risk management. So for me, it was simple, this at level. You either look for the 1-2-1-2, 3, 4-5, 4-5 potentially, right? You're still continuing down till proven otherwise, till you actually get a sign of strength and a bounce. So this triangle was really good to short the highs of the triangle or to long the higher lows of the triangle, and you literally have your stop loss beneath the last higher low to speculate on, you know, will we break up or will we break down? And you maintain the one that gets stopped out, right? You maintain the other one as the strongest position. Because I would have got stopped out from that short if we would have formed a higher low here. And, you know, I'm basically aiming the highs, right? So stopped out from the short, ride the long, right? This was actually a pretty good, interesting area to get into a hedge, right? Long or short, which one will play out? Well, either the double 1-2-1-2 and break down, or either the ABC right there. This is the kind of information that is really good because, you know, you need to short the highs of the range of the triangle in this case, or long the lows with very good risk management. And there will be one that plays out. So, you know, it was an interesting area. I was really leaning on the WXY based on the bullish CVD divergence. I have to say, with the Legends trading community, it was, you know, short the highs of the triangle or long the lows of the triangle. And one of them will play out. Very squeezed range. So, anyway, it's Monday. Before you know, it will be flying again. Very possible. Before you know it, it will be flying again. Let's see how we come down here to the 0.88. If we are going to break down, really concerned of that multiple 1-2 here. We're still above the 0.88. Anyway, legends, I need to wrap it up, okay? Remember, if you're interested in trading, you got Weeks, guys. I've been testing out Weeks for the last few months. It works absolutely wonderful. You got a great bonus, 50% fee reduction, $10 to $100 if you link your phone number for free, okay? You will get it in the next 24, 48 hours. Take advantage of that bonus. For the big players that are going to continue trading, you'll be getting airdrops, okay, of thousands of dollars if you move high volume. Check out the second link, guys, for Weeks. I've been trading there for the last few months. It works absolutely perfectly. Thank you, everybody. I'll be back with more tomorrow. If not, I will see you in the Legends trading community. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.